Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. My boyfriend and I broke up the day of our trip, so I went to Portugal by myself. This didn't go as planned. As of yesterday morning, my boyfriend was coming with me. Why am I about to cry again? Let's try that again. As of yesterday morning, my boyfriend was coming with me to Lisbon for the week. We were non-revving. Non-revving is when you fly a standby for flight attendants, so we only get a seat if there's one open. He's been my travel companion, so he gets to fly standby too. Things had not been going well. I knew we were very much nearing the end, but we were still going on this trip we've had planned. The morning of the trip, we got in an argument on the phone. It had kind of been the norm. I was sobbing before I even left the house. Even more concerned at that point about this trip, but what are you gonna do? I get to his house to pick him up and he decided he didn't want to come anymore, and I said, okay, well, I gotta go. I didn't think I was gonna go without him, but of course I am. I do love a solo trip, and it's kind of funny. Last month in April, I was planning on doing a solo standby trip by myself, and I kind of chickened out because like the dates weren't lining up with the flight loads and everything, and I had a lot to do around the house, but I'm getting my solo standby trip now. I look like a wreck. I didn't get on the direct flights here, so I had to do a layover in Munich. It actually worked out really well because that meant by the time I got here, the hotel was actually ready and everything. Got upgraded on the first leg, so I actually was able to sleep on the plane. And the hotel was actually ready by the time I got here. I'm gonna put the makeup on now. I already took a shower. I'm gonna stop crying. I'm gonna go find food. I know you're not gonna believe me right now, but I think I'm a lot less sad than if this trip would have gone as planned. Just like I said, I was crying before I even left my house. The pastel de nata is so much better than I even expected. I've been wanting to try one of those things for years. Now I'm going to one of the famous plazas, or the famous plaza, I guess. I'm gonna mispronounce it, but I'll put the name of it. I'm in the beginning of an Emily Henry book or something being written about me. Also, they're not lying when they say that number one, Lisbon is super hilly, and number two, it is so slippery here. Can't imagine when it rains, it's gotta be so much worse. After the Santa Lucia viewpoint, I stopped at a few shops, but I was also just kind of walking around. I saw these wild peacocks, which was cool, and then I stopped at this restaurant by the hotel that had the green wine that I hadn't tried yet, but love the green wine. Good morning. I got a lot later start than I planned on today. I went to bed at like 8, but I actually woke up at like 1 in the morning, and then I couldn't go back to sleep till like 3, and then when I woke up again, it was now 9 a.m. Oops. I have to go to Starbucks. Don't make fun of me. That's one of my to-do lists every time I leave the country. From there, I think I want to go directly to the LX factory, which looks like it has a big bookstore and food trucks and all kinds of fun stuff. There's a monastery over that way, the Belém Tower. I might go to Zara today because one of my travel influencers I follow just posted about how they have like the biggest one here. Kind of the plan for so far. Look how pretty the Starbucks building was. Also, they did sell pastel de nata. I thought that was great. Quick stop because I found this right next to the Starbucks. I kept just thinking about how easy the public transportation was here, and it really is. It's great. Just had a little bit of trouble with the tram though, because I thought it was trying to tell me to take the metro, so I got a little bit lost, and it took me longer than I thought to get over here, but now that I know, it's back to being easy. Pass was 11 euros for 24 hours, which is not bad at all. Bought this necklace because it's hard to find silver jewelry. I feel like this was only 18 euros, and my silver necklace that I love so much that I pack that I wear all the time was from my boyfriend, so time to replace that one. Made it now to the Belém Tower. See it back there. It was also kind of further out, so I had to take the tram again to get here. I kind of want to go to the monastery because it's beautiful, but I don't know if it's worth paying that much to get in, so we will see. Actually, that line is crazy. I don't think I'm gonna go in, but it still looks so pretty from the outside.
For your sunglasses, very bright outside. Yeah, so check it out. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Stopped for just a quick minute at the hotel because it's honestly right next to all the other stuff I wanted to do. Let me tell you, there is absolutely no reason for you to take an Uber in Europe, but I did just treat myself to one because, again, where I was kind of farther away. I would have had to wait for the train and then another metro, which would not have been a big deal at all, but already my pass had expired because it had been 24 hours, so I would have had to buy a new one anyway. And then it was gonna take like kind of a while, so I was like, let me just see how much an Uber costs, and it was €8. So I was like, okay, we can do it this one time. Now I want to find another Miradoro, which is like the Viewpoints, because I didn't like how my pictures turned out last night just because of how the lighting was. And I need some good pictures. I don't have enough good pictures here yet. I haven't been to Zara yet. I still want to check that out, but it's not like top of the list. And then I want to go to Cafe Garajam. I thought it was a cafe because they call it cafe, but it looks like it's more of a bar with this beautiful view. I didn't buy anything at Zara, but I did find this outside, and I remembered that Rick Steves had said that I needed to try this cherry liquor when I was in Portugal. It's good. It's strong. You can taste the cherry. They have what I call the San Diego trees here. These are the trees I always see on my layovers. I think they're so pretty. I don't know what they're called. I don't know why I looked mad here, but I was going to Cafe Garajam. They're not lying when they say that Lisbon is hilly. I went to that cafe and I had the coolest moment because these two girls invited me to sit at their table with them when they saw that I was alone. They were the sweetest girls from the Netherlands, and we had this whole like long talk talking about both of our cultures and everything and what we do for work. And it was just fun, and that cafe was really cool because it's a really pretty view there, so definitely recommend. I still needed to get a good picture. I felt like it was really hard to get good lighting out here, even though the lighting looked like it would have been good. But I was just kind of hopping from one Miradoro to the other, which I definitely recommend. There's a beautiful one on like every street. Big fan of the Verde one. Respectfully not a fan of this. There's some kind of meat croquette, but whatever the meat is like a paste, and I couldn't do it. I stopped at this rooftop that I had heard about. It had a really pretty view, but I don't know why I didn't really feel like eating here, so I went back to Time Out Market for the second night in a row. Morning, final day already. I can't believe how fast this has gone by, honestly. Today I have a big day trip to Sintra to see the big castle there. Should be about a 40-minute bus ride, I believe. I'm kind of curious to see what this group is gonna be like. I don't know how big the group is gonna be. I don't know if it's all gonna be Americans, older people, people my age, but hopefully it'll be fun. Update, it didn't seem like there were many other solo travelers here, but as we were waiting for the bus, this lady actually tapped me on the shoulder and told me there was a bug on my back, and she was like, can I get it off for you? And I was like, yeah, please. But then she and her 23-year-old niece introduced themselves to me. They were from Australia. They asked me if I was traveling alone, and I was like, yeah, I actually broke up with my boyfriend on the day of the trip. And from that moment, they decided to just adopt me for the day. Our first stop was at Cabo de Roca, which is the most western point in Europe. Super windy there. Don't wear a hat, don't wear a skirt. It's beautiful though. This whole landscape reminded me of Ireland. From there, we went into the actual town of Sintra, where we had about 5 hours of free time, so you could kind of choose what you wanted to do. So me and my new friends decided to do the hike up to Pina Palace. This hike might be more intense than you would think. It took us about an hour to get up there, but I love a hike. Don't pay to go in the actual palace. You don't need to. You can see the whole view of everything from just the outside admission. It really is a stunning view from the top. And I would have been fine here on my own, but it was fun having my new friends with me. Again, they were from Australia, so that was another kind of cool moment where we were just getting to talk about our different cultures and everything. If you don't want to do the hike to get up here, you can also take a tuk-tuk up or back down, which is what we did. I will talk about that more in a minute. After we got back down to the bottom, my new friends wanted to go to the other castle, but I went and got food because I was starving. Right after I took that video on the tuk-tuk, things got scary for a second. All of a sudden, our driver stopped, the two cars in front of us stopped, there was a bus in front of them, and the people jump out of the car and they just start yelling. These are super narrow roads that you're hiking up and down to get to that castle and just around this town in general. Come to find out, the bus, as it was going around the corner, hit a lady and had her pinned up against the wall, and the bus didn't even see her, so they were just dragging her along. We didn't actually see that happen, but it was absolutely horrifying. But she survived, so we were up there for a little bit and just watching everybody checking on her and everything. But we thought we watched a woman die. I mean, we weren't even crying, but just like speechless and on the verge of crying over this stranger. Honestly, a miracle that she was okay. I don't know, it was just crazy. I met these two ladies, this woman and her niece that are my new friends. They just like adopted me for the day. Just so sweet. We were bonding already and laughing, and then we had that like horrible encounter together that we witnessed, and I don't know, just people you meet on vacation, I guess. But one of those reminders of like how beautiful strangers can be to each other. Like a lot of those people that were helping didn't even speak the same language. There's good people out there. We took the bus back into Lisbon, and I had some time to take a nap because I still hadn't been sleeping well, but my friend Karina that I met on one of my EF Ultimate break trips was coming into town today, so we had made plans to meet up later. Never showed you the room tour, but this hotel was actually perfect. It's not anything glamorous or anything, but safe, it's a good location, price was good, it's clean, that's all I needed. There's a bathroom over here, the shower was really nice. After my nap, I met up for a late dinner with Karina, who was actually traveling with another ambassador that I hadn't met before. Got ambassadors in the wild! I'm so excited. This place is like kind of loud and overwhelming, but they have these mini sandwiches. It's fun. It's already time to go to the airport and head home. Hopefully I'm on standby again. Don't really know what to expect because I'm trying to fly on TAP Air again. There's 2 direct flights to Boston, or I can try to get on the direct Delta flight, which might actually be a good thing because if there's business class seats open, that would be fun. I am ready to get home. This trip honestly was, though, exactly what I needed. I think this went as perfectly as it could have. Like, it sucks, the situation, but I truly do think I would have been a lot more sad if things had gone the way that I had wanted them to. So I'm glad it didn't go how I wanted. I'm glad this happened. I think Portugal is a great healing country, and I'd love to come back and see more one day. And then I made it on my first choice flight home. So that's all I have for you, but I just want this video to inspire you that solo travel doesn't have to be lonely or scary. I encourage you to take solo trips, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're married, no matter what. Because even when my relationship was at its best point, I was still taking solo trips, and that's why I was able to come on this trip without even thinking about it. And it makes me sad that if I hadn't been comfortable with solo trips, I probably would have missed out on all of this. So please travel as much as you can and don't let anybody stop you. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.